Good afternoon, hello, it's Daniel. This is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Today is another day of triathlon training, and at the time of recording, it's 8 weeks yesterday until Ironman UK. My first, I suppose, like big focus of the year. So 6.5, maybe-ish weeks of training left. I'm really cracking on now. That's more of a mental state than anything changing actually physically, because I already feel like I'm training as much as I can. So I'm just diverting all my energy to staying focused and getting the most out of every ride, every run, every swim, etc. Don't need to do anything special. I just need to do lots of average training for the next few weeks, and that will hopefully get me to the finish line. But anyway, join me tonight. It's Monday evening. I did go out for a run at lunchtime, but I forgot to take the camera, so did it even happen? Who knows? And I'm actually feeling really good today, even on the run. I felt like full of running, I think the phrase is. Like just full of energy and just like I was, you know, bounding along. In reality, I ran exactly the same pace I did on the same route last week. So there's no difference, but I felt good, and that's important. And the same on the bike tonight. I'm just feeling good. I have to keep, like, you know, doing this progressive overload thing where as I'm getting fitter, I do have to do more. So like on these evening rides where when I was first getting into training, I'm doing 200, 210 watts, maybe even less. Well, now I've got to do 220, 230, 240, you know, just keep creeping it up, so otherwise I'll stagnate. So just gotta keep pushing. It still feels like, you know, like a zone 2 aerobic ride, but I just gotta not get stuck in the same numbers. Anyway, I think I've miscalculated tonight's route because I thought I had a headwind out, tailwind back. I'm about an hour in and I've not felt a headwind yet, so this could be a grim return. I can't explain how bad I think I want to live, like out somewhere like here. Like a village, not too far away from civilization, but definitely not in a big town. Just on loads of nice country lanes. I think, I do worry that I'll become a hermit and just ride my bike all day, not talk to anybody. But the actual benefits, I think, would be big. My ride tonight, you know, the first 20 minutes, half an hour, go through the local towns, you know, close passes, shouting at drivers, etc. Doesn't put you in a good mood, but this puts me in an awesome mood. So until you look at the right move prices. But, you know, we'll keep working hard, and I don't know, one day we'll get 1 million subscribers and YouTube will buy me a house. That I doubt, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm feeling really good still. It really helps being able to ride my own pace up hills and not having to ride absolutely flat out chasing the guys. There is a place for that, but I really do quite enjoy spinning away at my own pace. So here's what I'm riding tonight, and to be honest, it's the bike that I do the vast majority of my road training on. It's my Canyon Ultimate CFSL7. I have had this bike for nearly a year now, so I'm going to do a separate, like, longer term review video. I've got some positives and some negatives to share, but for the purposes of tonight's ride and tonight's session, it just reiterates to me that this setup is damn near perfect for what I want. The main thing for me, I think, is the gearing. So 48-35 chain set and a 10-36 cassette just means that I can spin up these hills that aren't too steep on tonight's route at my optimum cadence. I'm not having to grind a big gear to get up a hill and, like, you know, ruining the session and taking on loads more fatigue than planned. I can just spin up as I am now, like in second or third gear, just keep my optimum cadence and get up the hills fine. I should have my Easy Gains chainring cover on there. I haven't, because I changed the bottom bracket a couple of weeks ago and I didn't get around to put it back on, but I will do so in the next couple of weeks. Thanks Easy Gains for the support. And the drivetrain wise, I've been using the NRG wax lube rather than immersive lax for a little while now. It's just easier with how frequently I'm washing the bike, and NRG do have a re-waxing service, but I just never get around to posting the chains back to them. I should get a setup at home, I know that I should, but I've just not got around to it. The chain's probably ready to be changed. I did change the crankset about a month or so ago, and I expected the chain to start slipping, so I thought, well, I've had this on for, you know, several months. I've done quite a lot of miles in it, especially through the winter, and it hasn't. So whilst I haven't measured the chain, it's not like so worn that it's slipping on either the cassette or the chainring. So I will see how it goes, but I'm definitely going to plan to swap that in the next couple of weeks, and I'll include it in that video. Wheels, tyres, brakes, I'm still using the Veta Passare wheels. This is actually their all-road wheel. They mark it as a gravel wheel. However, I think these are brilliant for the British roads. They're 26mm internal, 32mm external, and I'm running those with 32mm Conti GP 5000Ss. They work so well, they're very light. I think they're perfect for British roads. Brakes, these are the Hope RS4 Pluses. Bit mixed about these. I think I'll cover it more in the review video. They do squeal a bit. They do work really well when they work, but they're quite noisy. I think I need to try some different brake pads in them, but they look cool as well, so you know, what's not to like about that. And then the cockpit is still as I originally spec'd it. I de-spec'd it. I took off the integrated cockpit and just put a standard bar and stem on, enabling me to get on my beloved clip-on bars for that time trial position work. Now, this bike's actually a more aggressive position than my time trial bike is at the minute, so it's not really the best training, but it's better than nothing. So Liz and I often have ridiculous conversations in which we imagine things that might happen in the future, and one of them is, if we had a lot of land, we'd have obviously loads of animals, but we'd have a couple of horses, but one that we'd like ride, and one miniature Shetland that'd be his best friend and it'd be the boss, and that is what this is. Oh, let's just go to the toilet. There's a little tiny miniature Shetland with all his mates. I bet he's in charge as well. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for asserting your dominance on this YouTube channel by going to the toilet. Hello. Is that little mini Shetland in charge? Yeah. Anyway, I should probably continue with this bike ride. I'm halfway up a hill and that just caused me enough to stop. Oh, I'm going to say hello. Aren't you, hey? You're lovely. Aren't you, hey? Yeah. You're lovely. Oh no. He likes cats. Okay, so ride done and dusted. I'll leave the stats on screen, but I do want to talk about it in a bit more detail in a minute. Just got home, my little baby's drinking a juice box. It's smooth. It is, you love them, don't you? Liz, I told the vlog earlier, and I just need to show you. I saw our dream setup. Go on. On the way around, ready?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's cute.
I know, yeah. The miniature Shetland with his friends that are big, and I saw them all like bickering around each other. And I thought, I bet it's in charge. I bet that one's in charge. We overshare too much. We've already told them about Reggie, our imaginary golden retriever. Yeah. Now they know about the dream field setup, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, tired.
Oh.
First day back at work.
First day back at school. She's tired already. Well, the kids miss you. No.
They don't notice much because they've all been off, haven't they? So
okay.
Just tell you what they've been doing in the holidays and that.
Cool. What's that yellow stuff for the back corner? Is that for
it's called
chickens?
It's orange. It's called butternut squash.
Oh, bit aggressive tapping that spatula there.
I know, we're having pesto pasta with butternut squash, courgette, mushrooms and onions.
Awesome, thank you very much. And about 5 smoothies. Keep your digestion going. Right, tonight's ride then. Liz, you've already suffered this earful, so I'm not going to subject you to it again.
So I can put this extraction pan back.
Yeah, okay. I, for a while, haven't ran cameras on my bike, as in like constantly running cameras to, you know, video things on the road, because I felt like it was ruining cycling for me, because every time I got home I'd have to report a close pass or report something, and then I'd dwell on that, and when I was out on a ride I'd be thinking about it because the cameras are running, and I don't know, I just thought, nah, I'm going to leave it for a bit and I'm just going to, you know, ride sensibly, look after myself out there, etc, etc. Occasionally, the last few weeks, you know, those situations. So we either get close. I know cyclists aren't perfect. Either get close past, or something happens. And I thought, I wish I'd have the cameras on, but nothing major. But tonight, I've had 3 or 4 real, and the 2 towards the end of tonight's ride. One of them, like I was half a second away from being splattered on somebody's car. I was coming down a hill, probably about a mile away from home, and I was covering the brakes, looking ahead of me. I thought, oh, shall I have a drink at this point? Didn't, and it's a bloody good job I didn't, because I'm looking ahead of me, and it down a hill, sweeping down towards the right, and a car pulls out from a drive from the left and just pulls out in front of me. I slammed the brakes on, and honestly, I must have missed it by a foot. Absolutely nuts. The driver, looking me square in the eyes, I'm like, what the? You know, as you do, and absolutely screaming, just looks at me and drives off. I stopped and I thought, oh, I'm absolutely shaking. Turn around, the car's already like out of distance. So I'm like, oh, do I cycle after this driver or not? Like, obviously know where he lives, and he pull out his driveway. Is that chicken in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Liz, Millie, that is not allowed.
She's coming for a dinner.
You are dinner. Never mind coming in for your dinner.
I said to her, chicken dinner.
Liz, don't say that. Anyway, so just super close, and obviously I haven't got that on camera. Not that a camera would have saved me, I would still have been, you know, in a very bad way if I had hit the side of the car. But I don't know, I think I just need to, I listen to what Cycling Mikey says, and if you know who he is, he's a cyclist in London. He reports mostly mobile phone drivers, people on the phone in traffic jams and stuff, and he cops a lot of flack, and he goes out of his way to catch drivers, but he talks about him feeling an obligation to do so. I think his dad passed away in a drunk driver accident, not him being the driver, somebody else. So I can understand why he'd be motivated to do what he can. I feel like now I need to have an obligation to do something. Now I'm not going to be driving, riding around trying to catch people on the phones and traffic lights and stuff, but I think I'm in a position where I have this YouTube channel, thank you very much for watching, and I've got the equipment, the kit and the cameras. I need to sort another rear camera out, so I did pack up to be able to do it. So whilst it might sap the fun out of cycling for me, what would really sap the fun out of cycling for me is dying, closely followed by one of my friends or family dying in a cycling accident, and me feeling like I have not done everything that I can to try and improve safety for all vulnerable road users in my local area. So I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of content. I'm definitely going to start recording and reporting again, but I feel like I could do more in terms of just publicising, maybe the awareness piece that, if drivers just think, oh, cyclists have cameras, it might prevent some close passes. It wouldn't have stopped that guy pulling out on me from the end of his driveway, I'm sure, but what else can you do? So there's my little rant and my little commitment to actually do something about it, to not just rant about it. I'm not going to do it for views on the internet. I will think about how I can put it across in a meaningful and constructive way, because cyclists, walkers, horse riders aren't perfect, but we are vulnerable. So anyway, that's the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you are all well. I'm going to get stuck into that courgette, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Hit like and subscribe. Cheers, bye.